This committee is charged with the observance of human rights in every walk of life, in every stage of life, and their delivery through public policy and the implementation of that on the ground. But it strikes me that, and it has always struck me, that we have a suite of human rights that we look to international treaties for, which cover every aspect of our lives save one, and that is the end of our lives. Now, I want to ask the committee and the panel members present whether they agree with my view that should I reach the end of my life in unendurable pain, beyond the reach of palliative care, that I should have the right to say, this far and no further, and be assisted through any means necessary to quit this life with dignity.
Ali, I think that one's quite clearly directed at you.
Yes, I'm here representing Dignity and Dying Scotland, and we believe in the right to a good death for everybody, including the option of an assisted death for terminally ill and mentally competent adults. What we believe very strongly is that those at the end of life, in Scotland at the moment, there is a small but very significant number of people who are experiencing a very bad death. We have stories every day, people coming to our organisation. A lady recently came saying it took her mum 12 days to die without when nutrition and fluid were withdrawn. That was an agonising 12 days. She experienced endless pain and suffering that was really needless. It did not have to happen in that way. If you look around the world at the moment, we can see that many other jurisdictions are actually looking at what rights people should have at the end of their lives and are taking action that really needs to be taken in Scotland. At the moment, we know that one person goes to Dignitas every 8 days from the UK, and figures from England show that last year there was 300 people, of all the suicides that there were in England, 300 of those, that's 7%, involved someone who had a terminal illness. The fear of pain and suffering at the end of life are driving people to take their own life. We also have a situation where dying people's loved ones, their family and friends, can potentially be criminalised for the act of helping them with their dying wish, either through travelling with them to Switzerland or here. We don't have any guidelines for any loved ones in Scotland, unlike DPP guidelines in England and Wales. The state of Victoria in Australia, which is a very similar population to Scotland, 7 million, recently took action and introduced a very safeguarded bill that manages to, like Oregon, that's had legislation for 20 years, really empower dying people at the end of their life whilst providing the very vital and necessary protections and safeguards to groups of people in society who may feel vulnerable by such legislation. On that safeguarding point, at the moment, there are no safeguards other than a police interview after the act of death has happened. What we favour is very much a compassionate and safeguarded bill that would empower dying people, give them access to the human rights that they so desperately need, but also protect those in society. We know it's a very popular campaign. We've got 77% of people in Scotland really back this, and we think this Parliament can take action, it's empowered to take action, and we believe very strongly that it should.